Hey people, it's Jim. Just wanted to share an update on ISIL. I heard today in a news report that yeah, it's starting to trickle out that yeah, they helped us extinguish Al Qaeda. So basically, what I thought was probably happened has happened. We funded this group to power and helped it gain its foothold. While it did our committed the acts of war crimes that the people in our government that hired them probably did not want to be associated with publicly. So, once again, they hired somebody just like Al Qaeda to do our bidding. And again, of course, they did. And once they got rid of Al Qaeda, gee, imagine that. They turned around and did the very thing, wanting to take power and get a foothold somewhere. Of course, they want to live. You know what I mean? But what bothers me is that it's double indemnity, both financially and with regards to war crimes, because they hire the people to commit the war crimes, okay, and then they exterminate the people who committed the very acts they wanted them to commit. So to me, I think that people in our government should be held accountable. Whoever is responsible for hiring or attaching or funding in any way, shape, or form groups of this nature should be held accountable legally uh, by the law. And you can guarantee, I mean, they're going to extinguish ISIL, right? They're going to exterminate these people. And you know they're going to exterminate? Not the intelligence agencies that created the problem, not the leaders, because all those people will flee before they get cornered and trapped and are exterminated. Who will be left are the people who thought they were belonging to some group that was going to take power, probably due to fear, because these people are murderous thugs. So you got to think about that too. When we go in and exterminate these people, they're probably just people who are trying to survive, as they did with Al Qaeda. And I bet half of ISIL was Al Qaeda. They just jumped ship, as they always do, from the weaker group to the stronger group so they can live another day. And, you know, that's the really sad part. You know what I mean? And they're just pawns in the big game, the big scheme. You know, and again, we fund it to get it going, and then we have to pay to get rid of it. So it's double indemnity to we, the taxpayers of the United States. How do you feel about that? That's my first question. How do you feel about that? And then the fact that we, the people, okay, are funding such murderous thugs that they make Hitler look almost normal. How do you feel about that? Okay, then let's go one step deeper. The fact that we pay to create the problem, then we have to pay again as the people to get rid of the problem. All the while we're murdering people. When you really think about it, if we knew it was going to happen and we paid for the war crimes to happen, don't you think that's murder? And that, you know, and that leads me to the next point of this. Intelligence agencies working with these people. Well, once again, it shows how intelligent our intelligence agencies are, aren't they? They're not very intelligent. You know, and there's another thing I wanted to put out there. You know, we funded Al Qaeda to take care of a problem. Then it turned around and bit us in the butt because we cut them off and made them out to look like bad guys. Okay? Then they retaliated, all right, against financial institutions, I might add, and your government. They really didn't go after people if you really think about it, okay? So it's all sad. It really is. But, you know, they wanted to make their bold statement. And then then we fund ISIL, probably, this is what's going to come out, to take care of Al Qaeda. And then claim victim, oh, when these people become the murderous thugs they were in the first place. All the while, it's probably intelligence officers that are flat out psychotic serial killers who are involved with this crap anyway, and then they're allowed to take off and go sit in an office somewhere only to get their chance to do it all over again. You know, all funded by the American people and the other nations of NATO. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, it's the same cycle of insanity. doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Einstein's definition of insane. Our government and intelligence agencies are insane, and I personally think they should be held accountable. And here's the point of it. We seem to be polarized as people of the United States, Democrat, Republican, but maybe we can all agree on this. It was Clinton's administration in 1999 that repealed the Glass-Steagall Act. It was the Bush administration that pushed the country along into the final trappings that the Clinton administration allowed to happen. Had that act not been repealed, the banking industry would not have been able to do what it did, hence we would have never had the problem. So it took a Democratic administration to create the problem in the first place. It took a Republican administration to carry out the problem, okay? And it's left us all holding the bag to fix the problem, okay? And it's the same thing with this stuff, okay? It was a Republican administration that dealt with Al-Qaeda, okay, and Democrat both dealt with Al-Qaeda and worked with them. And it was a Republican and Democratic administration that both got rid of Al-Qaeda, okay? It was a Democratic administration, probably intelligence agency, that funded ISIL to get rid of Al-Qaeda, right? Okay, and now it'll probably be a Republican elected next time, you know, to help finish extinguishing it or whatever, you know, or the next problem, but it goes on and on. So I hope one can stop this ridiculous polarization, people, and start focusing on the real problems of what's going on and how we, the people, will be looked at through history as people of the United States. We, the people, are going to be held accountable in history for allowing this government, our government, to behave in this manner and to hire murderous thugs, to cause financial collapses. People, it doesn't matter Democrat or Republican. Please open your eyes. Please open your eyes. They're all funded by the same money hoarder launderers, mega wealthy. The same people fund them to power. Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter, okay? And it's time that we, the people, finally start doing something about it. And I hate to say it, folks, but it's going to come down to us. And you know what? I don't know about you, but I'm really tired of being attached to this kind of behavior as a citizen of the United States. This is ridiculous, and it needs to end, and we need to call people out. And personally, I think we all ought to demand that any administration or intelligence agency found to be associated with murderous thugs, will they themselves be charged with the very crimes that those thugs and warlords committed. And I bet this problem would end. And it doesn't matter Democrat, Republican, because I hope you can go look in the mirror, no matter which party you belong to, and realize it does not matter. They are all insane, bought and paid for by the same money laundering thugs that control this whole thing, okay? And it's time that it ends, and we, the people of the United States, can and do have the power. You know, I go out on YouTube and I see loving, wonderful people all over the world. So there's probably 6.5 billion of us people in the world who are tired of this crap. You know what? And it doesn't matter what race, nationality, or historical background you are. I mean, there are great people everywhere in the world. And, you know, it's time that we got together and just started voting and saying enough of this crap. And please, if you're Democrat, Republican, please stop the polarization. Come together on this. Get together on the real issues and problems of the United States. We pay to create the problem. Now we have to pay to get rid of the problem. It's the same thing over and over, expecting different results. It doesn't matter who's in power, who's in office, Democrat, Republican, it does not matter. They're all sold out, bought and paid for. I hope you completely understand that. Especially liberals who think they're not bought and paid for. Every one of them is. Look who funded them to power. It's the mega wealthy. It's the only way they can get into power. It costs $100 million to run on the ticket for the President of the United States. Where do you think they get the money? I'm really getting tired of this, people. Democrat, Republican, schmack, schmack, schmack. It don't matter. They are the problem. And in the end, we will be judged for it, because it doesn't matter. We can't be that ignorant anymore. We have to come together and demand that it end, period. Wouldn't it have been nice to take those hundreds of millions of dollars and put it into creating jobs for the young men and women of this country so they can actually somehow see the future of being somewhat free instead of indentured servitudes to an economic system that's a complete failure for them? You know? I don't know. Just putting all this stuff out, you know? And again, for any Democrat that thinks they're innocent, Clinton administration repealed the Glass-Steagall Act that caused the whole debacle of the banking industry in 2007 and 8. Okay? I hope you understand that. It was the Clinton administration that repealed the Glass-Steagall Act. It was the Bush administration that allowed the banks to behave in that way. Okay? But it was the Clinton administration, Democrat, that changed the law so they could. Do you understand? It doesn't matter who's in office. They're all sold out to the same people. Please get a clue and go look in the mirror the next time you go to the voting booth. And vote for an independent. Vote for somebody who has no money. Once again, you know, to solve this problem, folks, we the people are going to have to start sending Mr. Smith back to Washington. And stop sending anybody who has $30 million, $60 million, or $100 million to run for office. Because they're all sold out. Every one of them, people. There's very few truly patriotic Americans in the Senate and Congress left. The majority have been bought and paid for, or they have something on them where they can't vote the way that would be responsible and right for the American people. And so then they're forced that way. So, I don't know, I just wanted to get all this out. You know, hundreds of millions of dollars once again spent to take care of a problem, only again to turn around and spend more to get rid of a problem that we ourselves created, the intelligence communities of this so-called alliance that's nothing more than puppets for the money masters, the money launderers. You know what I mean? The people who are truly in power. For those of you who think that your Democrats aren't sold out to them, how can they all go to the same groups and go to the same groups that the Republicans do before they're elected president? You might want to see that through. Okay? That means they're sold out to the same mega wealthy people because they're meeting with the same mega wealthy people. You may not see the funding as public, but hey, they've been hiding their dough through corporate alliances the whole time. So please let's not be ignorant anymore. And please let's end the polarization. Let's come together. It is only we the people that can stop this ridiculous behavior. And it is war crimes, ladies and gentlemen. It is murder that's taking place, ladies and gentlemen. It is disgusting what they're doing. And I hope you feel that way too. And if I've offended anyone out there, well, good. Maybe it'll spark some conversation. You know, it doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican folks. They're all sold out to the same people. They're all committing the same acts. They're all doing the same things. So please, you know, before you go to the booth, go look yourself in the mirror and ask, what are you voting for? A party that's sold out to the same machine? Or are you going to vote for possibly someone who might be able to make some change? Because none of these people do, in either one of these parties are they worth the crap that they sit on. Not a one of them. They're absolutely useless, and they all allow the same stuff to happen over and over and over and over. So I hope we can all see this as citizens of the United States of America. It's time that we the people pulled the change. And that means don't vote for them. Neither party. Get them out. Get rid of them. Get them gone. Because they're all responsible. And they should all be held accountable. And that's just me, man. That's just coming from me. You know, I saw the news report saying we probably funded these people again to help get rid of Al-Qaeda. And here we go again, folks. So I don't know about you, but a lot of people are dying. A lot of people are being treated horribly as a result of... it has nothing to do with our borders either. So anyway, Jim out.